Hello and welcome to this book presentation of The Color Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft. This is the limited edition by Shelter Bookworks, first published in 2016, and The Color Out of Space was written and published in 1927. But the book is bound in paste paper over boards. And each copy are fully handmade, so each cover and back cover will look different, and the art design here is very abstract, the same with the images within the book, but I will show you that later. But you can feel the black paint on the board. But I think that this design is very unique. I haven't really seen a book design like this before. And onto the spine, which is bound in buffalo suede. Also a very unique choice of material. And the back cover carries on the design. But one of the most special aspects about this book is the fact that it is printed on a letterpress with relief printing on Shelter book paper from photopolymer plates. And if you don't know what letterpress printing is, then I do advise you to check that out. It's a very rare art of bookwork today, but I'm glad there are people out there who are still working with the traditional book art, and I would consider this book to be one of the most unique and special books you can get in terms of Lovecraft editions, and not only because of the 40 copies limitation, but also because of how the book is made and where it was made, and I will talk a bit about the rest at the end of this video. But let's open the book up, and inside we have no end papers. But the grey paper here, and then the circle book paper begins directly instead of end papers. And the person who handmade this book was Amy Borezo at Shelter Bookworks, a very skilled artist, and I do recommend going to her website, which I will leave in the description, and check out her work. And already here you can feel the relief printing effect, because the squares here are pressed into the page, which you can probably see on the other side of the page. And then the introduction by the Lovecraft scholar S.T. Yoshi begins, and also a note on the text. And then one of the most impressive title pages I've seen. The colors are extremely vivid and clear. Amy even sent me a extra title page, which was very nice of her. And then the story begins. And something else that is special about this book is that the pages are sewn into a shaped concertina, which leaves these flaps out. I'm not 100% sure why she shows a concertina binding, but I believe that it is so the book can open up more easily. But I think I read somewhere that she wanted the book to have as little adhesive and glue as possible, so it could be easier to rebind the book if needed in the future. And I'm all for books that use as little glue as possible. But let's talk a bit about the paper and the text. The typeset is Caslon with titles in Futura, but As I said earlier, the text is printed letterpress and the text itself is extremely clear, easy to read, but I would say that the text size is a bit smaller than I'm used to, but not annoyingly small, but still I would say maybe smaller than average, a bit smaller at least. And I'm not 100% sure exactly which paper it is, but here you can see this circle paper mark. But I'm pretty sure that it is mold-made ingress paper maybe, which I believe is quite usual for letterpress books. But the paper is very thick, has a off-white creaminess to it, really high quality paper at least. But now let's dive into the images in this book. Enjoy. And Amy has written a bit about the reason for picking these images and what they represent, so I will go through that in a moment. But all in all, the book is 56 pages long, and the text for this edition was provided by S.T. Yoshi from his publication H.P. Lovecraft Collected Fiction, which Hippocampus Press published in 2015. And here we have the text explaining the other reason for why I think this book is extremely unique. I'm just gonna read it so you don't have to. The artist and publisher Amy Borezo lives near the supposed site of this fictional tale and frequently walks the old roads of the towns now underneath the Quabbin Reservoir. In creating the imagery for this work, the artist was interested in the inherent romanticism of this familiar landscape, as well as Lovecraft's own professed dislike of progress and modern industrialization. The toxicity from the meteorite at the site of the reservoir could be seen as a metaphor for the effects of modernity itself. The images reflect these ideas in abstract form. So, as you probably understand, this is, for a Lovecraft fan, a very special edition. And in my opinion, it makes this the most unique Lovecraft edition probably ever created. at least in the last 20 years or so. And the book, as I said in the beginning, limited to 40 copies. Here it has some information which I've already talked about, but also a special thanks to Lisa Hersey, who assisted in printing and binding. And I have copy 34 out of 40, and here is Amy's signature when it was published 2016. And the book is printed and bound in Orange, Massachusetts. And the book has been sold out, so it would be considerably hard to get hold of a copy of this book, since the limitation is so low, and I can say that I don't have my own for sale. But this is an amazing edition of The Color Out of Space, and I want to thank Amy for keeping the beautiful art of bookbinding alive, and also creating a unique and special edition of one of Lovecraft's best stories. And the back here is the same as the front. And here we can see the concertina binding, and the headband is black and the spine is rounded. And the book opens up well. And then we just have the cloth clamshell box with a paper insert here. With the same design as the front cover of the book, and the black cloth looks very nice. And of course no problems whatsoever to open and close the box. And inside we have some grey paper. No idea which paper this is, but it kind of looks like the paper used in the book on the inside of the boards. And that was all I had to say about the book. I'm sorry that the book is out of print, but I really wanted to share the amazing art of bookbinding to all of you. As of now, when I'm recording this, I have yet to edit the video, which I imagine will take a bit of time. Maybe not as long as the Alice in Wonderland edition, which took many hours to finish. But that video had so many illustrations in it, which took the majority of time to edit and film. So I really don't have much more to say. This was my second limited edition on my channel. There is at least one more coming up in the somewhat near future, and I don't have any plans to buy more limited editions yet. But if you have any questions about either this book, or any questions about letterpress printing, or any book related question at all, I will be happy to answer all of your concerns. And I do appreciate feedback on my videos as well, and please point out if you want to see things differently. But please check out my Patreon page if you want to. The link is in the description, or it's showing right here. And try not to be scared by the new Patreon logo, which is absolutely horrible. At least my opinion. And if you want to see more book videos in the future, then please subscribe if you haven't already. The videos don't show up in your subscription box, which sometimes happens. Then you can press the notification bell right below the video player, and that way you will get a notification in your browser or an email whenever I post a new video. But that was pretty much all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for all of the support I've gotten so far on my YouTube journey, and I'm glad all of you liked the more educational with video I made, and you will probably see more of those in the future as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.